Hello, everyone, and welcome to Crick Blog Podcast, where we're reviewing all the teams ahead of IPL 2025. And in this video, in this little episode, we'll be previewing CSK, five-time champions. They just missed out on the playoffs last season. A lot of talk about how they may go this season. Very interested to see how they will go. I've got some views on them, as I'm sure my co-host Nash will. So, Charbel here, Australia fan, founder of crickblog.net, an avid IPL follower and fan, and Nash, Mumbai Indians fan and India fan.
IPL enthusiast, as you like to call
IPL
me.
enthusiast. That's the word I've been saying. You're right. Yes, IPL enthusiast. So Nash, immediate thoughts on CSK, and what's your starting 12 with the impact player there?
Yep. Look, the team looks good. It's got a nice balance of foreign players and domestic players.
Yeah.
It's got a good balance of um experience as well.
Mm.
And the overall, it's a typical CSK team,
Yeah.
but how they go on the field is um we'll just have to wait and see for that. The playing 12 that I've gone with is I think every most of the people out there will have a similar or barring one or two players
Mm.
playing 12, but I've gone with Gaikwad at the top with Devon Conway, Rachin Ravindra at number three, Shivam Dubey, Deepak Huda, Sam Curran. Now here's the thing, because with Dubey and Huda, there's also another batsman waiting in the ranks is Rahul Tripathi as well,
Exactly.
who has done really well. So it'll be really interesting to see how those two go in the middle order, and then maybe
Yeah.
we could see Rahul Tripathi
Yeah.
getting a go at some stage as well.
Mm. Mm.
Um, then you got Sam Curran, Jadeja, Dhoni, Ashwin, Patirana, Mukesh Chaudhary, and Khalil Ahmed. Are those? That's the 12.
Mm. Mm.
And with Patirana as well, with the foreign players, you can see there's a good balance of Nathan Ellis, who has bowled really well in the Big Bash as well and in the Champions Trophy.
Yep.
You got Noor Ahmed as well, and then there's domestic players who miss out like Vijay Shankar and Kamlesh Nagarkoti as well. So there's quite a good backups as well.
There is.
Not to mention Shreyas Gopal as well, who's an
Yeah.
experienced campaigner as well. So yeah, it looks like a good team. It will be really interesting to see how Gaikwad captains, and then how the uncapped veteran of MS Dhoni
Uncapped. I like that.
comes up with the goods. But I
Yeah.
think CSK, I think it's a standard CSK team for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I've got same 11 to you, but I reckon they might do is probably play one of Conway, depending on conditions in the first game at Chepauk, play one of Ravindra or Conway. So Ravindra might not even get a game and play Tripathi at
Yep.
three. And
Yep.
then bring in Noor Ahmed as the fourth overseas
Mm.
player, depending on conditions.
Do you think Nathan Ellis could be a good option with his slower ones and
He
his
could be.
change of pace?
He could be. He could be. But I think they'll pick Patirana above him and they'll pick Noor Ahmed if they would go for another overseas for Chepauk, if it does
Yep.
spin. But I love Nathan Ellis as an option, and what a backup to have. And that's, I think, if we
Yes.
go into the strengths of CSK, I think they've got a pretty good balance in their team, in their 11 or their 12. But it's not just that, it's also the backups that they've got. So if they want to play one of Conway or Ravindra, they've got a very good backup there. Sam Curran, if they don't want to go with him, they can go with someone like a Jamie Overton.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
then we talk about the domestic seamers and then the spinners as well that you can bring in and the overseas pacers. So they've got pretty much all
Yeah.
bases covered. That's a
And I think
strength, I think. Yeah.
we could also see youngsters like Sheikh Rashid could be given a go as well at some
Yeah.
stage.
Yeah.
They've done really well in the domestic circuit, so I think they are
Yeah.
from the last under 19 batch. So I think
Mm-mm.
they'll be given a go at some stage to get that
You think
experience under
so?
the
And
belt as well.
even like for this period of 3 years until the next mega auction or however long it is, right? They look long term as well, CSK, and
Yep.
they didn't panic after missing last year's playoffs. They sort of stuck with a similar core, but they've added to it. And Ashwin and Jadeja, of course, together is a big strength, I think, as well. Having those two reunited. at Chepauk in particular. I think CSK will be tough to beat at home.
Yep.
Um, if there was an area of concern, so they're the key strengths for me. That good top order, Shivam Dubé there in the middle overs, and a good balanced squad and good depth. But if I had a
Absolutely.
weakness, I worry about maybe the power in the finishing. That's probably an area they probably do lack a little bit compared to some other teams. But if they,
I mean, we could even see Sam Curran coming up the order and then Shivam Dubé doing the finishing role as well.
I wouldn't put Shivam Dubé as a finisher because he's very good in the middle against the spin.
Yep.
That's where he succeeded in the IPL. In the middle overs, spin hitting, they won't move him from number four. I'm sure of it. If they do, then it's a blunder that you wouldn't see very often from CSK. Very sound management. But I think someone like a Jamie Overton could come in for that finishing role. Very, very powerful hitter. If,
Yep.
if CSK feel that throughout the season they need to improve in that area, they've got that player who can come in potentially ahead of Sam Curran going forward, and he provides a bowling option as well. So there's good depth there. Death bowling looks pretty decent with Patirana there. Um, yeah, and good depth and good range of bowling options in their attack. What do you reckon?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I think in terms of weakness, like you said, the finishing could be a major factor for them. Like I said, the backups are really good. And that's going into a tournament like IPL. It's always the priority for teams is the backups as well.
For sure.
Because it's a long tournament. There's
Yeah,
plenty of travel available.
yeah,
The level is really a high intensity elite level. So injuries are always a risk. So with this team, that there are good backups. So I think
there
that's a big positive. But when you're talking about negatives, I think the finishing could be a massive factor here.
So where do you have them this season?
I have them at eighth.
Really?
Yes. And
Why?
the thing is, like I said about
Eighth.
yeah,
Jeez.
like I said about Mumbai Indians in our Mumbai Indians episode, it's the other teams that that catch my attention more than CSK. It's the teams like Lucknow and Gujarat Titans that have caught my fancy rather than CSK, and even Delhi Capitals, not to mention the firepower that's there. So I think it's
Hmm.
more so the other teams that are really stronger
That's
that
interesting.
CSK.
Eighth for CSK. That's a
I mean,
big
someone
flop.
has to finish. Someone has to finish in the bottom, isn't it? Like, and
Someone
any,
does.
yeah.
Yeah, interesting call. Uh, when CSK miss the playoffs, they make it next season. They rarely have two seasons in a row where they miss. I think they'll make it this season. I've got them in my top four. I think they've got a lot of
Okay.
class. They'll be strong at home and a lot of experience, a lot of know-how, great management, great coach.
Yep.
I expect them to be there in the playoffs. Big two in terms of MI and CSK flopping this season by the sounds of
Yep.
things, according
Yep.
to you. So we'll see if that
I think
eventuates.
it's the other teams catching up as well.
Yeah, possibly. We'll talk about those. So do subscribe, guys, to Crickblog TV. We'll be previewing all the teams and we're doing that on audio platforms as well. So you can catch us on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts. All the teams will be there. Crickblog Pod on Instagram and Twitter as well. So do catch us there as well. Thanks, guys.